Now, in a controversial move, adverts for the new Adidas sports bras featuring bare breasts have been banned for being likely to cause offence. The posters and tweets show the breasts of 20 different women in a grid format with the caption, "We believe women's breasts in all shapes and sizes deserve support and comfort," which is why our new sports bra range contains 43 styles so everyone can find the right fit for them. Despite the body positivity message, Adidas was hit by 24 complaints with objections that the use of nudity was gratuitous and objectified women by sexualising them and, quote, reducing them to body parts. The UK's Advertising Standards Authority upheld the complaints, deciding the posters were not suitable for use in untargeted media where they could be seen by children. Well, it certainly caused widespread outrage, with one of our own superstar panellists campaigning on the issue of big tech treating topless women differently to men. So Ashley James was shadow banned recently on Instagram for posting photos of herself breastfeeding, with the images removed from all social media platforms. So Ashley, I know you're very passionate about the story and have also commented on this Adidas ruling as well. So are you saying that bare breasts should be allowed anywhere, on billboards, on every social media platform, or does it depend on the context?
Yeah, I think it definitely depends on the context, but I think it's very wrong to say, in the context of the Adidas campaign, that those breasts are sexual and inappropriate for children to see. 100% of people have nipples. 50% of those people with nipples, or 51% I think are women, have a functioning purpose if they are mothers. Most children are breastfed, even for an hour, even for a day of their lives. So children are not taught... children aren't born thinking, boobs are so inappropriate, boobs are really bad. We teach them that. We tell them women's bodies are wrong. And what that does is it systematically is teaching children to blame and shame and sexualise a female body. And look, I'm not saying... Of course, I understand. I wouldn't walk down the street topless. I understand that there is a difference between men being topless and women being topless, but we have to change the system because, for example, trying to see how a breast pump works, you cannot find a video of a breast pump being used on a boob.
And I totally understand when it comes to issues relating to breastfeeding. Of course I do. Obviously, though, I imagine the social media companies would say that if the rules were changed, what you're going to do is open up lots of pornography on those platforms, and actually they're trying to protect teenagers from pornography.
So let me say this, there is pornography on Instagram. I won't say whose account, but I know someone that you know or often post pornographic content. I also, as many other women will say, receive unsolicited genital pictures from men on a regular basis. Now, these tech platforms claim that they can't do anything about it. But here is the stat. So teenage girls from the age of 6, so not teenage girls, but from 11 to 16, 52% of them worry about the way they look. And that is because the exposure that they're seeing of female bodies through airbrushing, films, magazines, it's usually from a very male gaze, a very sexualised version of a female body. This Adidas campaign, I don't think anyone would look at that and think that's very sexual. And it's amazing for women, and especially young girls, who will all get boobs, and even for young boys to see, wow, that breasts come in different shapes and sizes. And I think, you know, we need to stop teaching children that functioning body parts are considered unacceptable.
But Adam Brooks, you have a concern that if these rules were changed, you could open up pornography.
Yeah, look, I'm a father of 3 kids. I don't want them exposed to seeing male genitalia, female genitalia on the internet. You know, that is the worry, that it could open the doors. But what my take here is, how has 24 complaints had an advert pulled, firstly, and, you know, that isn't a sexualised image of those. I think it's quite tastefully done.
I think the issue with the number of complaints, John, is that it actually doesn't matter if there's 1 or 100,000. Once they've got a complaint, they investigate it based on whatever their rules are. But did you have a problem with that advertisement, John? That advertisement?
I can't say that it kept me awake at night thinking, oh, this is either awful or this is wonderful. It didn't seem to be terribly exciting, one way or the other. The problem is...
But you wouldn't be offended if you saw that on a billboard? unpixelated? Because remember, the ad was unpixelated.
Yeah, but no, I'd have to see it with more sort of clarity, really. If it was a great big,
It's a whole load of boobs, John. Let me tell you.
No, but it would depend very much. It would depend on my mood, really, too. No, but the fact is, what you can't get away from is very well saying that breasts are for providing milk for babies. Okay, you can't stop men thinking they're sexy, and you can't then say, oh, well, we must stop that.
And other women.
And whenever,
we are
I know, but the moment once you start getting a sort of rule, in Hollywood, they used to have this thing about if a couple was on a bed, they could kiss, but only if one of them kept their foot on the floor. I mean, just crazy ways of trying to make sure that it wasn't too sexy, trying to make sure it wasn't this or that. And the moment you start drawing these lines and you then start saying, well, wait a minute, is there a matter of principle here? So if there's going to be a sex education programme, how is that going to differ from pornography? Well, to some people, not very much. There won't be much of a difference.
I think
so you're constantly trying to get a group of people together, as with this advertisement, and just say, oh, going too far, not too far. Is it okay?
Final word, Ashley, how do you respond to that?
We can't help it, men find breasts sexy. Well, that is saying that women need to censor themselves and feel shame about their body, because I had breasts from the age of 13 and I was always told, cover up, you're distracting boys, you're distracting teachers. We need to change the system.
And there's a bit of hypocrisy, isn't there? Because your booby shot was taken down by Instagram. My team found this earlier of Adam Brooks on Instagram with his nipples out, and that's completely fine, Adam. Apparently.
I'm breathing in. You can tell. I'm breathing in there.
Women might find that sexy, but we can.
No, but look, that's not no one's going to think that's a sexual picture.
Oh, I think it's pretty sexy.
Oh, thanks, John. Where's the picture of John?
What's the difference? What's the difference? An Instagram censored one. That's Ashley's argument.
Look, I think
you should both agree with you hate censorship.
I hate censorship.
Yeah.
I think that the thing is that
I hate censorship. I think we have to protect teenagers from and young people, children from pornography.
But we are showing real bodies.
So some could find that image of Ashley like lustful. It could cause emotions.
Down, please, Adam.
It could cause emotions. But my picture isn't going to do that. That's the
as I say, we don't know.
So why? There are heterosexual women.
Let's have more pictures.
Let's move on swiftly.